everybody, back to Unreal World. Let's play it. I am Wolfric, and now let's get on with sorting out our kills. We're going to ditch this human meat. We don't need it. We had it as a last resort option. Since then, we have been lucky to kill that bear, so we're going to drop the human cuts and the human fat. We're going to select them and hit spacebar, and we're going to simply push it into the water, get rid of it that way. So hit P to push, select the direction of the water, select all of it, space, it's gone. Right, a little bit of pollution into the water system there. Right, now we're going to go back into our hide working menu. We've already cleaned the skin, so now we're going to tan the skin. Harsh, clean, bare skin. We need 2.10 pounds of tanning material. Now, almost always, the amount you need to tan the hide is the exact amount you had from the bear fat. So notice here, it says bear fat, £3. I think it's rounded up in a big way. So it says £3, but really it's probably going to be exactly enough to tan the bear hide, which will be 2.10. So we're going to select the bear fat, and we're going to hit space to continue. Even if there is more bear fat than we need, then that's not a bad thing. We can cook it up and it will be a nice little meal. So that is now tanning. We're going to leave it by the riverside to continue. We hit comma to try and pick it up. It says it will be ready by night. You may not pick it up yet. So we're going to leave it there. So now we're going to head up back to this village. They didn't have anything to trade, however they do have buildings, and that is what we need. If you look up in the top box here, where it says the month, it's still latter winter, early Swidden month. The months aren't the typical January, February, March, April, May. The creator decided recently that he wanted to go with a more traditional type of thing, so you'd get to know the months over time. However, it's now latter winter, aka spring. Sorry. So, the big deal with that is that while it is late winter, it is still cold and dry outside, so it's not yet turning humid and warm. So those are the perfect conditions, dry and cold, for drying meat. And that is the best preservation you can do. So, what do you need to preserve meat? We're going to go into the cookery options. We're going to come down to dry. We're going to select it. You need the raw meat or fish that you want to dry. You need a dry and cold weather. You need a place for drying the meat and fish. So basically an outside wall to hang it on. You need a knife, and you need tying equipment. So, by tying equipment, what do we got? We have got in our inventory our father's clothing, which we don't need. We've got a piece of cord, which is good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into the make menu, which is Shift M, and we are going to go into utility articles, and we are injured, so we're going to cheat a little bit. It's not really cheating, it's just efficiency. We're going to select bandage because we need to make bandages to treat our wounds. We're going to make 5 bandages. That's going to need £5 of cloth. So what we're going to do, here's our father's old clothing. We're going to choose this to make our bandages out of. So we're going to use fur footwear. There wasn't enough material there to finish the job, so we need to select something else. So we'll select the fine woolen undershirt. Still not enough, so we're going to select the rough linen trousers. We want to leave the cloak until last because that's a lot of material there, and it's good. So we've got £5 of cloth. Cutting, you can do it by hand or with a cutting weapon. We've got a knife, so we'll use that. We're going to continue. It's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, we've obtained 5 decent bandages. Now, if we go into the inventory, we come down to bandages, they're right there, and you can see 5 bandages, £5. Each bandage is worth a pound in weight. So now if we go back into the make menu, go into utility articles and go down to cord, and we choose 1 cord, you need half a pound of cloth. So what we do, choose the bandages, hit that, we've made a decent cord. We go back into our inventory, we've got 4 bandages that are made out of the full material and 1 bandage that's only half used. However, If we go into Alt P for our physician, and we come down to shallow tear in right hip, that's the worst tear injury that we've got, and we select that, you've got the option to clean the wound or dress the wound. We need water for that actually. We'll come back to our physician skill later. For now, we're just going to do the cooking. So we're going to continue making cords out of our bandages. So back to utility articles, cord, 1, select from the complete whole bandages, not the half one, because then you'll just use up the entire bandage. So down to there, select that, and go. We're going to hit R to repeat the previous action. So 1 cord from the 3 bandages now. Yep. And we're going to just do the same again. And last time. And there we go. So we now have 6 decent cords. Now what we're going to do is we're going to quickly have something to eat. We're going to finish off this bear. No, that's bear fat. We do have some bear fat left. It's very little amount, but that's still nice. You see down the bottom there in that red text, you aren't hungry enough yet to happily eat raw meat. If you become starving, the green nourished bar, if that becomes red and you enter starving mode, you will eat raw meat. We could eat these raw bear cuts as they are, but they would taste awful and our character would not like it in the slightest. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish off this roasted pike. There we go, that's what we wanted. So now we're fine. We're a little bit thirsty, but we've got our cords. Sorry. So now we're going to cook. So back into the cooking menu. We're going to go down to dry. You want the bear cuts. Now each cord can hold 19 bits of meat. That's the most efficient way to do it. If you just hit enter, it will do 50 raw, it will do 50 cuts, and you'll need 5 bits of tying equipment to do it. So it will do 10 bits of meat per cord. That is the least efficient way to do it. If we go back in, we go to dry, and we hit raw bear cuts, and we hit space to enter a custom amount, and we hit 19, it'll go in there. Yep, knife, tying equipment, cord. We only need 1 cord. It is the most efficient way to do it. So we've got everything we need. We're going to hit space to continue. It's going to be doing that. You leave 19 dried bear cuts to cook and prepare. The process should complete after 25 days. That is the only really bad thing about this, is it takes so long to prepare. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it a few more times. We're going to prepare some dried bear meat, because this will really help out in the months to come if we get unlucky with our hunting. But also the other advantage is that by drying meat, you actually reduce the weight of a single cut. So a single cut is a pound. A single cut of dried meat is only half a pound. So we can carry around the same amount, but with less weight, which is going to be really useful. So we've got 34 bear cuts left. How many have we actually got down here? There are... It doesn't actually say. Let's back away and walk back onto it. 57 dried bear cuts. We'll do it once more. We're going to repeat. We're going to choose another, and we're going to do another 19 bear cuts. That'll do. Tying equipment, cords, that's fine. Now we're almost out of meat. We have got 15 bear cuts left. So what do we want to do now? If we roast those up, they will last a few more days, but they won't last particularly long. They will still rot really quickly. So what are our alternatives? Well, we've seen that they have a very, very, very small amount of preserved meat in the corner of their village. Where is it? It's over here, isn't it? In this little building on its own. So they've got a little bit of prepared meat that we could trade for them with. But even then, it probably won't last too long. It is smoked, and that is the other option that I'm thinking of, is that while we've got some meat preparing with drying, we can smoke some of it, which will preserve it for still a really decent amount of time, but it will be done a lot quicker. And all we need to preserve food by smoking is a building with a fireplace in it, like this up here. That is a burnt out fire, but that's a fireplace. You need an active roaring fire. You only need to set the fire once, and it will continue smoking after. Here's their sauna. There's the fireplace isn't lit in here either, and it's getting late at night. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to trade. We've only got 15 cuts left, so we can get those 8 smoked elk cuts. That will be enough for the time being. I'll be happy just to have that little bit. So we're gonna pick up the smoked elk cuts, all of them, and now we're going to go and find this guy down here. Talk to him by pressing Shift C to chat. And now we're going to greet him. We're going to ask him who he is, just so that we find him easier in the future. His name is Noisia, and we're going to tell him who we are. Travelling tribesman. Yep, that's what we are. Back to the chat selection mode. Trade items. You've got some goods you want, so let's barter. I would like to pay my debt. You can try and sneak off and rob the place. However, they will try and chase you down and get you to pay. If you steal from somebody enough times, you will get a bad reputation, and they will start throwing you out of town the second you step foot in there. So, let's barter. What have you got to offer, tribesman? You've got 8 smoked elk cuts. That's what you have to pay for. So, we're going to hit 1, offer items for payment. So, we're going to offer bear cuts. We're going to offer him, let's start off with 4. See if he'll accept it. Halfway there. So, we're going to offer more payment, more bear cuts, another 4. He'll accept it. There we go. So, okay, it's a deal. We're trading 8 bear cuts for 8 elk cuts. However, the stuff that he's just given us is smoked, so it's going to last a while. Basically, we just want to keep getting rid of our raw meat and keep on getting it that's going to last longer. So, we've got 8 smoked elk cuts. We've got a little bit of roasted pike, which we're going to finish off in a minute. We've got 10 roasted bear cuts. We've got a little bit of bear fat, and we've got 7 normal bear cuts left. We're just going to roast them off. They will last long enough for us to go and start making equipment for better food gathering. We're going to go away and we're going to make some javelins, we're going to make a fishing rod, and maybe a net. I know I said at the beginning that I've never really had much luck with fishing. However, at the minute, anything is better than nothing. We didn't start with a spear, we didn't start with a bow. We have very little options for gathering food right now, and it is still far too early in the year for us to go about gathering things like mushrooms and berries and stuff like that. So we're going to move away from town, we're going to zoom out, and we're going to come down here back to where we left our animal skin that we were preserving. There it is, by the riverbank there. You want to really try and remember where it is that you set up shop. So we're going to come down here to the water's edge. We're just going to take care of our needs. So eat the roasted pike. Right, we've finished the pike and we're still hungry, so we're just going to have a roasted bear cut, start chomping into them. Save the smoked cuts until there is nothing else left, and then save the dried until the absolute last. So we're going to drink some water. We're all happy, we're not hungry, we're not thirsty, and it's about night time. So we're going to call an end to the video here, the episode here. Please, if you enjoyed, then like and subscribe to show me your support, show me that you want to see more, and until next time, I will see you later.